Match week 17 in MLS Next Pro from Los Angeles and Titan Stadium down the road in Fullerton, California. It's LAFC 2 hosting Houston Dynamo 2. Good evening, Matt Peterson with you for this Western Conference matchup. Houston Dynamo second in the West. Best points per game in the Western Conference, 2.38 points per game. 2 games in hand against Austin FC2 as they try to chase down Austin FC2. While LAFC tries to continue its fine form, they won on Wednesday against Minnesota United, a penalty from DiCarlo Guerra. Here's the lineup for Fabian Sandoval. It's Kosakov, the former University of Washington national champion, the left winger. Nathan Martiresco, the academy product in his first season in the league. He is the center forward. Ernesto Rodriguez out of Oxnard College. He is the right winger. Midfield 3, DiCarlo Guerra. He had the game-winning penalty on Wednesday. Adivieta out of UC Santa Barbara. And Liam Lambert, who is set to join Cal Poly in a few weeks for the college soccer ranks. The goalkeeper, Ethan Scally, went to the quarterfinals as the starting goalkeeper with Japan at the U17 World Cup last fall. Sandoval is the head coach in his first season in charge. Next up, Houston Dynamo and Jeremy Hurdle. This is the end of a long journey, a record-setting road trip, 10 matches. They've only lost twice on it. Both losses coming in the last 2 games. 4 regulars unavailable due to first-team commitments, including Matthew Arana, who scored against Philadelphia Union in a friendly last night. Also absent, Austin Brummett, Pedro Cruz, the regular goalkeeper, and Vinicius Silva. But it's still a very good team for Jeremy Hurdle. Artur Sosa up top, Herrera, Mohammed, and Martins underneath. Dylan Reyes gets an opportunity. He's a 16-year-old academy player, and he partners Gustavo Doman. Set for kickoff now. And Mark Verso, our referee. And a beautiful night in Southern California. Here we go from Rollison Stadium. Houston Dynamo is in orange. LAFC is in black. Houston Dynamo finally back at home July 5th against Minnesota United. This road trip began April 12th with a draw against Austin. A fantastic form from Houston Dynamo away from home. 2 losses, 2 draws, and 5 wins on this 10-city road trip while their home stadium undergoes renovations. Houston Dynamo a bit short-handed, bad giveaway. Here's an opportunity now. LAFC on the board inside the first minute. A square back pass. Dangerous ball, and the home side capitalize. Self-inflicted wound hurts the Dynamo away from home. LAFC have a lead inside 60 seconds. Here's the replay. Really the first touch, no settling touch needed. Liam Lambert, committed to Cal Poly. They play in front of huge crowds in San Luis Obispo. Part of the U.S. U16 setup. He's a 17-year-old and he scores inside 1 minute. A bright start for LAFC. Not what Houston Dynamo wanted away from home for this final time before coming back home after a 10 away. How will Houston respond? Throw into Houston. Reese Miller played at University of Virginia in his first year with Houston Dynamo 2. It's his 8th appearance, his 5th as a starter. Lambert the goal scorer. That's the first goal of the season for Lambert. He's only featured twice for LAFC 2. LAFC, it's a bit shorthanded too. Mahalic and Evans, their top 2 goal scorers, unavailable tonight. And for Houston Dynamo, the dreams start with the team well balanced with veterans and young players and players that know this league quite well. Houston wins it in midfield. Matteo Di Morelli is with Dynamo 2 tonight, available off the bench after coming back from injury. Austin Brummett. Pedro Cruz, the outstanding goalkeeper. Matthew Arana. And Vinicius Silva, each with the first team for the preseason for the second half of the MLS season. Jermani Bell also unavailable, also with the first team for preseason. He has scored 3 times in 11 appearances for Houston Dynamo 2. Logan Erb gets the opportunity tonight. He's the starting goalkeeper. Now a chance, Souza. Souza's shot is blocked. But a good warning shot from Artur Souza, played with Corinthians. 22-year-old Brazilian, 2 goals this year. Saved by Ethan Scally. Scally, a regular for the Japan U17s at the Under-17 World Cup last fall. A few shutouts in the group stage. Helped lead Japan to the quarterfinals. Turnover for Houston. Can they find the leveler? Saved at the near post by Scally. A warning shot there from Samir Mohammed. Watch this from Mohammed. Good physicality, direct play. Gets back to his left, tough angle, forces the save. Corner kick, Houston Dynamo 2. On a perfect night for soccer in Southern California. Here it comes. Had it clear. Kept in play just so. Houston Dynamo building left to right. A clever back heel there. Puts them in the corner. Good turn of pace. Good balance. Excellent defending. In the end, it's a corner kick. Good effort in that 1-versus-1 battle to earn a corner kick by this Houston Dynamo team. Herrera will leave this one for Mohammed, who just created the chance on the left side. Here comes the corner, headed clear. And it's a Houston throw on the far side of the field. Alessandro Herrera will leave it. Noah Betancourt will take the throw, and he's an academy product, age 18. 1 goal and 11 appearances before tonight. It's that difficult time for managers in MLS Next Pro late in the summer. And this year in 2026, the World Cup happening and the long World Cup break. It's preseason number 2 for most MLS teams, or all MLS teams for the non-World Cup players. So many MLS Next Pro regulars called up to MLS first team preseason. And many players preparing to head off for college. Some of those their first season of college soccer. Wide right. Here come the Dynamo looking for that tying goal. Another corner kick. Alan Martins has won this one. The Brazilian takes it quickly. Well taken from the end line. Clipped in. Souza cannot get there. Well defended by LAFC. Now from the left. Early ball from Gavin Wolf. Clear by LAFC. Dynamo run it down to the circle. Back for Logan Erb. Erb, a 22-year-old goalkeeper out of NC State. Here come the Dynamo again from this right side. Towards Souza. Halfway cleared. Edge of the box now. Doman fighting for it. Back off for Alan Martins. And it's a Houston throw-in. A second-minute goal. A goal by Liam Lambert. Dynamo trying to find the leveler. Off the shin, goal kept coming. Scally will play short. Dynamo looking to press. All the way back for Logan Erb. LFC patient as they wait for the right press trigger. Gavin Wolf, 17 years old, very patient. His 10th appearance, his 8th as a starter tonight. Dynamo throw in. Good chat with Jeremy Hurdle in preparation for the broadcast this week. He said he's very impressed with how his team have dealt with the 10-game road trip, which concludes tonight on the campus of USC. They've had adversity this year. Half the team got sick at the hotel in a previous game. Travel delays. Conceding goals for the first time after such a great clean sheet record to begin the campaign. That's a nice diagonal ball with some backspin on it. Erb comes off his line. And the former NC State goalkeeper clears it with the slide. LAFC throw it. Santiago in his 4th year turns it over. Here come the Dynamo with Reese Miller. Reese Miller early ball dealt with well. And Doman slows it down. Gustavo Doman out of Fluminense's academy. Also played for the under-20s in Brazil. Quality build here. Back to Scally under pressure, able to clear. Good hunting by the Dynamo. They've won it back. Reese Miller has options. Wide left. Samir Mohammed. Samir Mohammed tries to pull it back. Mohammed back to his feet. Mohammed to the near post. Handled by Ethan Scally. Most of the Dynamo thrust has come up this left side in the first 13 minutes. This was excellent here between Miller and Mohammed. A mishandle as they build leads to a Houston Dynamo corner kick. It's been all Houston since the opening goal 2 minutes in from Liam Lambert. His first at the MLS Next Pro level and just his third appearance. Mohammed is a short option if needed. Nobody very close for LAFC. It will go the long way towards the near post. Ping pongs around. And now out towards the corner flag. Pulled back, Samir Mohammed. Mohammed back on his left. Mohammed crossing it, back post. Glancing headed clearance. Dynamo retained possession. It's Reese Miller again. Excellent from Miller. Samir Mohammed draws the double team. What will he decide to do? He tries to split it. He's earned to throw it. Consistent pressure from Houston since the opening goal. Miller to throw it in. I'm back with Gavin Wolf. Across the back, Isaac Mwakatua. In his third season, it's the 59th career appearance for Mwakatua tonight. Corner kick coming. It will be left here for Samir Mohammed. Here's the corner. Free header, it's wide. More off the shoulder than the head. Great chance for Noah Betancourt here. He was all alone. And watch this header from Betancourt. Got to be between the shoulder and the head, off the side of the neck. Disappointing for Betancourt. Looking for his second of the season. The Dynamo press continues to give LAFC problems. This time they do wiggle out of it. Good pace and tempo to this game. Houston Dynamo have already had 5 corner kicks. In the first 15 minutes as Logan Herbst picks up the bouncing ball. Out of play for a Houston throw-in. This portion of the match is brought to you by BMO, the official bank of LAFC. Beautiful field, Rawlinson Stadium on the campus of University of Southern California. LAFC gets in the way of that Houston Dynamo build, but it's back with the orange. There's another near turnover. Soft hospital balls right through the middle of the field. That's nice. Excellent diagonal. LAFC are in. Here comes Herb off his line. Great goalkeeping. He saw it early. He went down early. And clean handle there. But that first pass was gorgeous. Then a quick second ball into a very inviting spot. That ball came from Lambert, the goal scorer. There was another pass before that that played in Lambert. Direct play, incisive from LAFC. The Dynamo missing Austin Brumet with the first team. He's been battling for that number 9 position with Artur Souza most of the year. They've both been very efficient. Matteo Di Morelli missed the Tacoma loss 11 days ago with injury. He's back available off the bench tonight. There's a cross. Slightly overhits. Di Morelli in his 3rd year in MLS Next Pro, progressing all the time. And building through the back, one of the options. Isaac Mwakutuya. And his 59th career appearance in MLS Next Pro, his 3rd season. One more game after tonight with MLS Next Pro, and then off to University of Virginia to begin his college career. Jeremy Hurdle in my conversation described Isaac as a complete rock at the back for Houston Dynamo 2 this season. Jeremy Hurdle has seen Isaac grow so much, part of the U15s when Jeremy Hurdle came on board. Interesting time in the lives of many of these players, winding down their high school days in their first summer before college, playing professional soccer at the MLS Next Pro level, and then just days or weeks away from joining their college teams for the first time. Isaac will head off to University of Virginia after Houston's next game on July 5th. Here's a build from Houston Dynamo 2. From this right side, clip to the back post. Headed clear. Top of the box knocked down. Woof will try his luck. It's deflected and out for another corner kick. Already the 6th corner kick of the night for Houston Dynamo. Watch this Woof. He glanced left, teed it up. And a brave header there to concede the corner. And that was Christian Diaz, the 20-year-old captain, who got in the way. Good bravery from him. Here's the corner from Samir Mohammed. Well defended by LAFC. LAFC have won it back in midfield. Turnover and midfield. LAFC trying to counter quickly. Long range strike is wide. Herb had it covered at his right post. Incisive, direct, no dilly-dallying from LAFC tonight. This is excellent. They win the ball and they have a chance on goal within seconds. It's been a sharp game from both teams. Halfway through the first half, LAFC in the lead. A goal just past the 60-second mark from Liam Lambert, the 17-year-old headed to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo in a short time. Right through pressure from LAFC. Dynamo hunting well in central midfield. A player down for LAFC. LAFC will play on. He is still down right in the middle of the field, and now the whistle is blown. It's DeCarlo Guerra. He scored the penalty goal 66th minute on Wednesday as LAFC beat Minnesota United. He's another veteran of this group. Guerra in his 4th MLS Next Pro season. A hard challenge came from Isaac Mwakatuya. Up and down this LAFC starting lineup, there's experience. DeCarlo Guerra in his 4th season. Christian Diaz, the captain behind him, also in his 4th campaign. Josh Santiago, the right back, his 4th season. A good experience for Fabian Sandoval in his 1st year in charge of LAFC too. Logan Erb under some pressure now. Out to midfield. Recovered by Guerra, who's back and moving well. Off to the left for LAFC. 5 in the box. Good dribbling. Some contact right outside the penalty area. Free kick is given and a yellow card is shown. Gustavo Doman in the book for Houston Dynamo. This was slick and crafty. He invited him in. He dove in, and then he had to do the waist wrap to try and deny further danger. Gustavo Doman, the 20-year-old Brazilian in the book. A big crowd right inside the 6-yard goal box. And Logan Erb, the goalkeeper. So be it in swinger, like a short corner, and a brave header sends it away. Into the hands of Erb. He'll look to restart it quickly. Erb will roll it out. Another turnover. Here come LAFC. 3 versus 4. Edge of the box now. On the right foot, it's flashed high and wide. Ernesto Rodriguez. His first pro season. He knew what to do with this chance. Running right at the back line. Reese Miller was caught upfield. Gavin Wolf tried to shield that near post opportunity. Ernesto Rodriguez went for goal. Rodriguez, prolific goal scorer at Oxnard College up the road. Has a contract option through June, or his first contract ends in June, just a few days, but there's an option to extend for the rest of the season. Same situation for Eddie Villeda, starting central midfielder tonight for LAFC. Sweeping clearance from Isaac Mwakatuya. This portion of the match is presented by DoorDash, exclusive on-demand delivery partner of LAFC. Interesting. There's 5 Brazilians on this Houston Dynamo 2 team, 2 in the starting lineup tonight. Artur Souza and Gustavo Doman. And Houston happens to be hosting the Brazil-Japan match tomorrow. That's Houston Stadium. It's a noon kickoff Central Time between Brazil and Japan. And a few of those Houston Dynamo players, part of the 5-player contingent on Houston Dynamo 2, they have found a way to get tickets to the game. They will find a flight back tonight to get back to Houston to watch Brazil take on Japan tomorrow. They wouldn't have it any other way. Canada kicked off the knockout rounds with a late winning goal, 92nd minutes, to advance in the knockouts for the first time in its men's soccer history. Stephen Eustakio scoring in the 92nd minute, the game winner for Canada. Offside flag comes up against Artur Souza. Brazil, Japan tomorrow, Germany, Paraguay, Netherlands, Morocco. Crunching challenge in midfield. And a yellow card. Isaac Mwakutuya in the book. In his next to last game with Houston Dynamo 2 this season before he heads to University of Virginia. There's the challenge right in front of the referee. Easy decision for Mark Verso, our referee tonight. Well, that's tough for Houston. You have Gustavo Doman and Isaac Mwakutuya, your defensive midfielder and your center back, both on a yellow card. Good team defending by Houston on this left side. Doman doing the dirty work. Doman's won it back. Excellent pressing there from the Brazilian. He went down easily. Is it a throw-in or a free kick? He thinks free kick. We'll see what Mark Verso decides. Good work. Tenacious defending. That's the MO of this Houston Dynamo 2 team all of 2026. Best points per game mark in the league. Second in the West behind Austin with 2 games in hand. Free kick now for Houston Dynamo 2. Clip to the back post. Isaac Mwakutuya into the hands of Ethan Scally. He quickly throws it out. It's well covered. Sliding over to win it was Reese Miller. Back to Houston Dynamo with another chance. Look at all the orange shirts in the box. Doman joins as well. Doman will head it on towards goal. Consistent pressure from the visitors. Sloppy giveaway there from Dylan Reyes, the 16-year-old making his second appearance. He's only played 3 minutes before tonight. He's an academy player, and he's getting the chance with at least 4 regular starters asked out tonight. Matthew Arana scored for Houston Dynamo's first team in a friendly against Philadelphia last night. Vinicius Silva, Austin Brumet among the group that's not available due to first team duties. Nice diagonal switch. There's a cross. Wakatuya does well with the clearance. This portion of the match is brought to you by Ford. 1-0 LAFC, 33 minutes gone. The goal from the 17-year-old Liam Lambert, his first of the season. It came in the second minutes off a bad giveaway from Houston, a near square ball that was a backwards ball right in the path of Lambert, who made no mistake. Skylar Kaplan was just booked. He's an academy product. He signed with LAFC 2 in December. Here's his challenge. That led to the yellow card. Played for Strikers and LA Galaxy's academy before joining LAFC's academy and earning this pro contract. LAFC's left back's in the book. There's a good win. High up the field. Josh Santiago. Low cross. Top of the box. Left back. Lambert's shot is headed wide. They're so direct and clinical once they win the ball. I really appreciate the style of play. When they win it, they know exactly what to do with it. Red card. That will turn this game. Christian Diaz, the captain for LAFC, is sent off for that high boot. It was right after the LAFC chance. Diaz got forward, and a quick decision from Mark Verso sending off Christian Diaz. LAFC voicing its displeasure, led by the captain Diaz. Watch this challenge. It's bouncing, and he brings his boot up into the face. He would say it was unintentional, it was nothing malicious, but a high boot like that in the vicinity is dangerous. He's trying to just simply bring the ball down. But a game-defining moment potentially there. Christian Diaz, the captain, in his fourth year with LAFC 2. It's his 63rd career appearance tonight in MLS Next Pro, and he's sent off. Treatment now for Reese Miller, the University of Virginia product. Took that boot to the face right in front of the referee, Mark Verso, who made the decision. Third career red card for Christian Diaz. One last year, one in 2024. It's a regular player. Has been limited this year, just his fourth appearance, but he made 24 appearances, 21 starts last year. Well, Houston had controlled most of this first half. Again, the LAFC goal through Liam Lambert. It came off a Houston turnover, and we'll see who gets sacrificed here. Most likely a attacking player will come off to be replaced by a center back to replace Christian Diaz. So it's Eddie Vieira who will depart. He is sacrificed. Eric Diaz will replace him, a natural center back. Now Vieira, 4 years at UC Santa Barbara, winding down his contract, which ends in June. They do have an option to pick it up to extend him beyond June for the rest of this season. It's actually Luke Goodman who came on. I beg your pardon. Luke Goodman, another center back. Eric Diaz, another center back available off the bench. Now Goodman on, playing center back now. You can see him directing his goalkeeper, Scally, with that pickup. It's the 8th appearance of the season for Luke Goodman. Miles Gardner has entered for Houston. He immediately might be asked to sub back. It was a concussion protocol sub, just for precaution. All right, a lot to sort through here. Now, Reese Miller went through concussion protocol. It was a concussion sub. Miles Gardner did not correctly check in at the fourth official's table, so he was just given a yellow card for entering without being allowed by the referee. So Gardner in the book for that. And a free kick now for LAFC. Offside flag is up. So Reese Miller out with the concussion, replaced by Miles Gardner. Here comes Gardner. Luke Goodman, a 4-year starter at UC Davis, 69 appearances, 65 starts. He grew up in Santa Barbara. And now a throw into Houston. Isaac Mwakatua wins the header. LAFC have won it back. LAFC down a man after the red card of the captain, Christian Diaz. Diagonal ball is just a bit too heavy. It will go out for a Houston Dynamo throw-in. Gardner, a regular starter for most of this season. A Dynamo Academy player, age 16. And what a tremendous opportunity off the bench in the first half. Gardner started 5 times, 7 appearances overall. It's his 16th career appearance for Gardner, who was 14 when he made his MLS Next Pro debut 2 years ago. Logan Erb slowly building. Wolf across the back with Isaac Mwakatua. Love the spacing of Houston Dynamo. They really use the entire width of the field. Here come the Orange, up this right side. And a goal kick given. Ethan Scally will restart. Miles Gardner. How will LAFC adjust down a man? Came out in a 4-3-3. Few options. Could go to a 4-4-1. Bring one of those attacking wingers into the midfield and go 4-4-1. Go 4-2-2-1, similar setup. Probably will function a few different ways. We'll keep an eye on how they set up tactically after losing a center back, Christian Diaz. Doman. Patience. Gavin Wolf. Isaac Mwakatuya. Good entry ball here. Herrera had it for a moment. Still in play. Mwakatuya. Woof. Miles Gardner, the substitute. A lot of orange shirts forward. It's off the corner flag. It will be a corner for Houston. 7th corner kick of the night for Houston Dynamo. It's taken short. Clipped in to the back post. Knocked down. And there's the tying goal. It's the Brazilian. A night before Brazil will play in Houston. Gustavo Doman has leveled things in Southern California. Took a slight deflection on its way in, but an opportunistic hit. First goal of the season for Gustavo Doman. Short corner initially involving Samir Mohammed. Mohammed is so shifty right and left, clips this to the back post. Wolf is the target. It's knocked down. First time strike with his left. Oh, off the shin and in. Dillman will be pleased, as will Jeremy Hurdle and his coaching staff. Houston Dynamo get the tying goal right before halftime. A minimum of 5 minutes will be added on for first half stoppage time. Artur Souza was just booked for Houston Dynamo. Not exactly sure why. We'll pass along the information as we receive it. Here comes the Dynamo press. It comes in waves, one player after another. Quite official. Lack of respect for the game was the reason for Artur Souza's yellow card a moment ago. Great detail there from Mark Verso, the referee, passing it along to his 4th official. Houston looking for that second goal before halftime. We're in first half stoppage time. And there's a free kick. Right beyond the penalty area. They just scored from nearly this spot off a corner kick involving Samir Mohammed. He was the short man. He did the work with his flighted ball to the back post. It fell nicely to Gustavo Doman, the man they call Gus. And Gus got his first goal in MLS Next Pro. Six targets for Houston. It's short instead. And that shot is well cleared. Alessandro Herrera with the opportunity now. Another misclearance from LAFC. Houston have them pinned back. Long diagonal switch. Samir Mohammed loves chopping right and left. He does it again. Look at this from Samir Mohammed. So crafty on the ball. He'll clip it back post. Looking for Souza, and it's cleared. Dangerous man, Samir Mohammed. Isaac Wakatuya did well there through traffic. He'll be a Virginia Cavalier player in a few weeks. Here come Houston, up this right side. Good defending. Back to his feet is Alan Martins, the Brazilian. He's earned another corner kick. Good defending to deny the initial cross from Kaplan. Dynamo want to go quickly. It is Samir Mohammed again. He thought he was fouled. LAFC will play on. Houston throw-in. And there's a yellow card. It's a very physical game, and you can see Mark Verso trying to get control of it because it is full throttle, very physical. And the man down for Houston Dynamo is Dylan Reyes, pushing the back. Reyes just 16 years of age, his second appearance as an academy player this season. Ernesto Rodriguez in the book, product of Oxnard College. Houston Dynamo, a free kick. Now in the 6th minute of first half stoppage time. And the referee Mark Verso will go sort some things out between the benches. Yellow card given to the LAFC head coach Fabian Sandoval. Back post, Scally read it well. And the Japanese goalkeeper will take his time. Now he gets the 5-second warning, reminded that he must play quickly by Mark Verso, the referee, and he does. Here comes Herb off his line to claim, and that's a great showing of why that rule is so great. It keeps the play moving. No more time wasting from goalkeepers. And it's halftime in Los Angeles. A very eventful first 45 minutes. First MLS Next Pro goal from Liam Lambert, the future Cal Poly Mustang. And then he was leveled by the Brazilian Gustavo Doman right before halftime. Left-footed strike off a set piece. LAFC will have to sort some things out. Their captain, Christian Diaz, was sent off with a red card for a high boot in that first half. Our score at halftime, LAFC and Houston Dynamo tied at 1. Coming up in our halftime show, we look ahead for a new club in Long Island, plus highlights and our upcoming schedule after this timeout.
They say the world's game is played everywhere. This is how we play it here. Every weekend across North America. From Vancouver's mountain rain to the shores of Florida, from the city of angels to the heartland, the world's brightest stars light up our fields.
Let's go.
And our fans bring the world to life. In every language, in every city. One game, one roar. Sold out nights under lights. New soccer citadels rising from coast to coast. Every chant, every goal, another brick in a growing relief. Now, the world's biggest stage comes to our home. And when they arrive, they'll find the game's heartbeat has been here all along.
One-to-one between LAFC and Houston Dynamo. The goals in this one, first of the season for Liam Lambert. And the second minutes from LAFC, then Gustavo Doman, the tying goal for the Brazilian. Last week we visited with Grand Rapids. Now let's head to the Northeast and check in with another future club, the Island FC.
The opportunity to build a professional soccer club in Long Island, you know, to me is really unique. Number one, because I'm from New York, I'm from Queens. It's a community that I'm very familiar with, that I resonate with. Long Island has a tremendous source of pride that only Long Islanders know and feel. To do this in a place where there is such a rich soccer history, you know, on the youth end, professionally, is also unique. You know, we're not just launching a soccer club, we're launching a culture, we're launching a community space, we're launching a brand and a team that will make Long Island proud. The Island FC will represent, you know, not just what's happening on the pitch, but off the pitch as well. And you know, at the end of the day, I want to make sure that we certainly give more than we take, and that's in all parts of the organization and the club.
I came to Long Island 40 years ago now and created the very first professional coaching organization. And out of that has grown this tremendous industry of viral coaching, super clubs and companies. And this is really an end result for that. It's an opportunity through the Island FC to act as an embracing organization that really brings the island together in a significant way and propels male and female soccer to the top. This is bringing professional soccer right to the heart of Long Island, and it makes that dream a reality. They will see young Long Island players coming through and playing pro here with the Island FC and representing Long Island on that international stage.
The biggest sporting event in the world is embracing two ideas that started here. One designed to keep the game moving, another designed to better protect the players within it. Both were first tested in MLS Next Pro.
The league launched in 2022, but prior to that, there were 4 pillars that we came around, really rallied around, where we wanted to build and drive growth. Those 4 pillars were professional development, local communities, access, and innovation. The game has been around for over 100 years, but for the most part, a lot of the rules have stayed the same, but the game has evolved so much, particularly over the last 30 years.
MLS Next Pro has been a really good proving ground for a lot of these new rules that they're bringing into effect.
The players in the competition have been very open to trying out new things. We've seen some really, really good developments, and a lot of the things that have been trialed in that competition have been elevated to MLS, and now we're seeing elevated to the FIFA level as well. This was something that it was easy for them to get their heads around. But I was pleasantly surprised to see them take this on in a format that's very, very similar to what we've been doing already.
Ideas don't become rules overnight. Changing the game meant bringing people together from every corner of the sport.
I think it took a lot of courage for us to implement some of the new rules, but we knew that if we did it in an authentic way and we got information from so many different stakeholders in parts of the game, that we could do it in a safe way that would help players, would help administrators and coaches, and really would be good for the sport.
Eventually, the conversation moved from meeting rooms to match day.
Well, I was fortunate enough to be a part of the first game ever with this in MLS Next Pro in 2022, where we got an email. We had to join a webinar where we had to go over these rules, and there was great understanding of how this was going to go and overview about these two specific rules that we're going to have implemented more specifically for MLS Next Pro. So I really thought the on-field treatment rule was an awesome implementation, because that's something that we deal with a ton as referees. It's something that causes friction, always causes issues for game management when you have players going down for injuries and calling a trainer on when it's not necessarily a serious injury. So I knew initially that was going to be a fantastic one, that was going to be helping our game improvement. And then the substitution rule we knew was also going to be one of the ones that was going to help. So I was really looking forward to doing that one and implementing that, because it's something that's game management we have to deal with.
The expectation was that there would be an adjustment period, maybe even resistance. Nobody knew how the players would respond once the whistle blew.
Players bought into it really quickly, and it was something that the entire league was able to understand it, and really you saw buy-in from everybody, and it was just really easily implemented at MLS Next Pro, and really didn't see much pushback. The biggest thing that I've seen is where players are smart enough to know if they leave the field voluntarily with our permission, they don't have to wait a minute. So if they're near the sideline or the end line or something where they say, hey ref, I just need a minute, I'm gonna go off, perfect. They can go off and get whatever treatment they need to, and they know they don't have to wait the minute. You're getting your treatment that you have, you're not implementing any of the on-field treatment rules or anything, you're just taking yourself out of it for a second. So that's where players are really coming smart to how they handle things. And then for the substitution rule, I've seen several times where I would talk to a captain and I tell him the player has to come off, and he's not, and you see a captain or a teammate pushing that player off the field, because they know that if you're not off in that 10 seconds, they don't want to play for 10 at the disadvantage that they would have.
The changes on field were obvious, and the numbers told the same story.
The data was really compelling. If you look at the numbers before the rule was implemented, on average, for those stoppages associated with injuries that are 15 seconds or more, you really were looking at stoppages in games that were 5 to 6 times per game. Once we implemented the new rules, that number went down to between 1 and 1.5 times per game. And so the data was very, very compelling that when you implemented a rule like this, it really would reduce those preventable match delays. And that was really exciting for us. But when you do the analysis in terms of number of fouls and yellow cards and red cards and some of those metrics, we found that those remain consistent whether the rule was in place or not. And that was a positive dynamic for us. And it's one of the key indicators that the rule's working.
The experiment was working in MLS Next Pro and was brought to MLS 2 years later. That success pushed these ideas to the biggest stage in the game.
It's amazing that every single law change that comes into play comes from some competition or some situation that happened at maybe it was UEFA Champions League final, or maybe it was another World Cup that inspired a rule change. So to have from our own competition, coming from North America, to have a rule change come into play for me, it's special, because I've been there from the very beginning. I've helped implement this from a management standpoint, so I'm excited to see how it's going to be implemented on the world stage by competitions, by referees, and by teams from around the world.
For the people who helped build it, the impact is still sinking in.
You never really understand the impact that you might have on the sport. And so to be part of MLS Next Pro and to be part of this process and leading this process as it relates to new rules and innovation has been a real shining star for me as it relates to my career. I'm just super excited and proud and grateful to be part of the process. I can't wait for the games to happen in the World Cup and to see them. These are important new rules for the growth of the game, so it's extremely rewarding, and I can't articulate how happy and proud I am.
In addition to the rules influences of this summer's FIFA World Cup, 105 players at the tournament have spent time with an MLS club, with 44 of those players developed through the MLS player pathway. Of these 44, 19 spent time in MLS Next Pro. Fans can get a closer look at this historic group by heading to MLSnextpro.com. Let's look at some recent scores across MLS Match Day 17. On a busy weekend slate. A few in the books from today. FC Cincinnati beat Inter Miami. New England Revolution, a win against TFC. Carolina over Huntsville City. Crown's Legacy, after a 3-3 draw last night, they beat Atlanta 4-3 in a penalty shootout. Vancouver lost on the road to Colorado. That's back-to-back wins for Colorado. San Jose won at Portland. And here is our upcoming schedule, starting with July 4th. 3 games across MLS Next Pro. Atlanta hosts Toronto. Inter Miami at Chattanooga, and North Texas hosting St. Louis City. 4 games on show on July 5th. Carolina visits Connecticut United. FC Cincinnati hosts New York Red Bulls. Minnesota United travel to Houston. That's the first home game after 10 on the road for Houston Dynamo 2. And then Crown Legacy will host Orlando City. Highlights of this first half. The first one comes just about 60 seconds in. Liam Lambert, he'll play at Cal Poly in a few weeks. No mistake on the shaky back pass. That was his first touch of the night, and it was his first goal of the season. But the Dynamo would immediately respond with chance after chance. Samir Muhammad was lively. Really the danger man for Houston in that first half. Chances after chances. But LAFC would push forward with good press. And this layoff for Lambert forced a good headed clearance. And then here is a moment. A high boot here on a bouncing ball. Christian Diaz sent off by our referee Mark Verso. Dynamo capitalizing on one of many corner kicks. Samir Muhammad clips it to the back post. It's knocked down for the Brazilian Gustavo Doman. Doman with the smash into the bottom corner for his first goal of the season. The tactical change for LAFC was bringing on Luke Goodman, the center back, to replace Christian Diaz, who was red carded. Eddie Vieta was sacrificed to allow the center back to come on. A few changes. Nathan Martiresco comes off, replaced by Marius Ianero. He played for Canada at the U17 World Cup last fall, and then Joshua Santiago also departs. Replaced by Travis Babineau. Babineau played college soccer at Cal State's San Bernardino. He's on a half-year contract that ends at the end of this month and with an option to extend to the end of 2026. Marius Ianero must be very pleased. Canada won its first ever knockout game at a World Cup, beating South Africa earlier today in Los Angeles. I doubt he was able to go to the game, but that game kicked off this afternoon. And the senior national team, he was preparing for this home game against Houston Dynamo. And we talked earlier in the first half, a few of the Houston Dynamo Brazilian contingent, 5 total on the squad. A few will find their way to Houston's World Cup Stadium to take on Japan as spectators. A late night flight back to Houston, and we'll watch Brazil's national team take on Japan in the round of 32 from Houston, Texas tomorrow. A great time for football across North America. MLS Next Pro, the World Cup, a lot happening. Well, Canada lost the chance of a home game in the knockout rounds. They came to LA, which has a large Canadian contingent, and they took care of South Africa earlier today. Scally considering his options. There's a direct ball. One of the first we've seen tonight from LAFC, over the top, trying to clear lines. Ianero does well. LAFC playing with 10 men after the captain, Christian Diaz, was sent off. Towards the near post, headed out. Free kick in midfield given to LAFC. Marius Ianero came up in the Chicago Fire Academy before going to France to play for Torcy. Had his first pro contract with LAFC 2 years ago. Alan Martin's back the other way, the Brazilian. Nice ball towards the spot. He had options there, but it was well defended by LAFC, and there's a hard challenge. Clear view, the referee. Another yellow card. It's a second yellow and a sending off. And this is very unfortunate for Houston. We talked about it when he came on. According to our red hat, he got the yellow card for not clearly checking in and being allowed on the field. So it was a bookkeeping error in many ways, a technical yellow card on his entrance on the field. That yellow card was for a tactical foul. He is sent off. So Miles Gardner played 7 minutes or so, not counting first half stoppage time, about 12 in total. 2 different yellow cards for very different reasons. Again, our unofficial word is that he was given a yellow for not being allowed on the field as a concussion substitution. playing with that yellow, he made that decision. And a tough decision for a 16-year-olds. And now it's 10 versus 10. Another yellow card. They're coming out fast and furious tonight in LA. Another similar high boot that time, to be honest. That time with Samir Mohammed. Very similar height on that high boot as the one for Christian Diaz that he was sent off for. Miles Gardner is learning. Dynamo Academy player, age 16. It's his 16th professional appearance tonight, his first red card. The first yellow card is very difficult because it's a concussion sub. I mean, that has not been around for very long. How many players have been a concussion replacement substitute? The protocols, how to enter, when to enter, all of that. You might side with a 16-year-old player and say you understand it, but the rest of your game, the rest of your appearance, you have to remember, I'm on a yellow card. I cannot have a tactical foul like he just did to deny a potential counterattack. That was the mistake for Miles Gardner, the second yellow. Long range shot is easily handled there by Logan Erb. It was Ionero who's been active since coming on. Good sliding win on this near sideline. Giving back. Isaacs won it for Houston Dynamo. Wakatuya steps forward to win it back for Houston Dynamo. Here comes the pressure. Souza push in the back. May not have had to do that. There were other Houston Dynamo players waiting for the recovery. Dylan Reyes has departed. He's a 16-year-old academy player in his second appearance. He comes off and he's replaced by a center back, a natural like-for-like replacement. For the left back, Miles Gardner, who was just substituted out. Omar Flores replaces him as a 17-year-old current Dynamo Academy player with options to play for USA or Mexico. For Omar Flores, it's his 8th appearance of the season. 2 have come as a starter. He has 1 goal in nearly 300 minutes. Long throw in for Houston. This portion of the match is brought to you by Kaiser Permanente, the official team physicians of LAFC. Looked like a potential push there from Gustavo Doman. Referee said play on. He is on a yellow card. He must be careful. Hard challenge there. Advantage has been played. LAFC will play on. It's clipped in, and it's beyond the far post. That was D'Alessandro Herrera with the challenge on the edge of the box. Another hard challenge. Players come together now and a push down. And no business for Ethan Scally to come this far forward. He's trying to be a peacemaker, but very rare for the goalkeeper to come out of his box into the other half of the field. Yellow card here. Now that's to the substitute. Just came off the bench, Omar Flores. Busy nights for Mark Verso, the referee. Feels like the Dynamo bench is asking about no yellow card for retaliation. There was definitely a push down after the fact. Seems like a LAFC player should have been booked for that push. Here's the restart for LAFC. 10 versus 10 tonight in Los Angeles. Skylar Kaplan clips it in. Isaac Mwakatuya able to clear. He took a long time to clear it. He was under some heavy pressure, and he was able to clear it right before Martins got there. Ethan Scally playing dangerously there. Here come LAFC. Pulled back towards the spot and swept aside. Throw in coming. A free kick is given. Ernesto Rodriguez comes off, and he is replaced by Dempsey Resich. Dempsey Resich is 18 years of age. He'll play at Indiana University beginning in the fall. Skylar Kaplan, the left back, who was on a yellow card, he departs. And he's replaced by Eric Diaz. Eric Diaz, a 20-year-old from Panama. On for his 15th appearance of the season with LAFC 2, was a regular starter last year. A 10 versus 10, first half sending off of Christian Diaz of LAFC. 2 yellow cards, 1 in each half for the Houston Dynamo substitute, Miles Gardner. Came on as a concussion substitute, was given an immediate yellow card for not entering the field correctly, and then a second yellow for a tactical foul in a transitional moment in the second half. Good build up here from LAFC. They have found space on this left side. Clip to the back post. Good defending from Houston. They had everything covered. It's a nice slip pass there. One touch to settle, then it was clipped in. And great marking to prevent any possible chance. Charlie Kosikov, the left winger, played it at University of Washington, where he won a national championship. 1 goal, 2 assists on the season. That was him on the left with that clipped in ball. Another free kick right at midfield. This portion of the match is brought to you by Toyota. Long diagonal ball. Alan Martins goes 1v1. Does he run out of room? He did. Just over the end line for the Brazilian. Houston Dynamo change for Jeremy Hurdle. Matteo Di Morelli will come back. He's missed the last few games with injury, and he'll replace Alan Martins. A homegrown player, Matteo Di Morelli. Be officially a first-team player next July. 3 goals and 11 appearances this season. He's only 16 years old. It's his 3rd year in the league. It's his 55th career MLS Next Pro appearance tonight. As Jeremy Hurdle told me this week in our pre-game chat, he said he's progressing all the time. 3rd year in the league for DiMorelli. Matteo DiMorelli very consistent. Here he goes with that dashing run. Good ball, DiMorelli into the feet. Alessandro Herrera. Good foot speed to chase it down from Isaac Mwakutuya. As Jeremy Hurdle told me, a player like Matteo DiMorelli, 3rd year in MLS Next Pro, it's easy to take a player of his level for granted. Remember, he's just 16. Could be pushing the Houston Dynamo first team door down very soon. Ten versus 10. A lot of space on the field. That's over hits, but kept in play. Strong challenge, long range hit is in the back of the net. Spectacular there from about 30 yards out. He survives the 1v1 strength challenge, and then he goes for a goal with some audacity, and he gives LAFC the lead. That was spectacular on an individual level. First the challenge, then the hits. It's to Carlo Guerra. Last week he had the penalty. This time he gets the goal in the run of play, and it's the veteran in his 4th season with LAFC to give the home side the lead. Their 2nd goal of the season for Guerra. They come in back-to-back weeks for the 18-year-olds. He entered the season listed as a defender. On the roster is becoming more of a midfielder, and you can see with those moments like that, he had 8 goals last season. Game-winning penalty in the 2nd half last week. He has a go-ahead goal in the 2nd half this week. Came about the same time as well. Penalty in the 66th minute on Wednesday against Minnesota. This goal comes just 2 minutes later. The offside flag will negate that potential goal. Frustration there for Houston. That's clipped towards the top of the box and dealt with well by Houston. Well, the goal comes from Luke Goodman, I beg your pardon. Thought for a moment it was Garrett. It was Goodman, the center back substitute who replaced the Christian Diaz after he was sent off. Nice triangle passing Excellent diagonal for LAFC. The race is on here. Far post, just too far. It was Eric Diaz bombing forward with this run. And he came so close. And that was the first MLS Next Pro goal for Luke Goodman. Comes in his 9th appearance. This portion of the match is brought to you by Liquid IV, the official functional hydration partner of LAFC. Now Luke Goodman with that hit. Made a name for himself at UC Davis in Northern California. Goodman grew up in Santa Barbara, played at UC Davis, back-to-back Big West Championship game appearances, and nearly 70 appearances at the college level for the UC Davis Aggies. Eric Diaz will take his time. Juliana Whitchurch played at Princeton. 24th overall pick of LAFC this year in the drafts. Center back. Excellent turn. Long range strike is wide. LAFC knocking on the door again. Good turn. He's been dangerous throughout. Marius Ianero, the Canadian U17 national team player, went to the U17 World Cup with Canada last fall. Souza. Noah Betancourt. Dynamo Academy product pushes forward. Gustavo Doman. Isaac Mwakutuya. Di Morelli did wonderful there. Still Di Morelli a little bit too heavy on his inside pass intended for Betancourt. Final ball does not come off. Woof, bad ball. Try to push it all the way across the field. It's given right to LAFC. Intended target was Omar Flores. Oh, nice dribble in here. Good help from Betancourt to slide over to make it more difficult. Marius Ianero. Nice triangle passing here from Houston Dynamo. A sliding win brings it back for LAFC. Doman read that pass well. The flag comes up. Offside the call against Houston. A quarter hour remaining. Another possibility here for LAFC. Dynamo are very spread out. Nice save. Logan Erb, far dive to his right. Spectacular save. This is a nice build-up. And left-footed strike there from Marius Ionero. Went to France. Play with Torsi. I've been with LAFC now for 3 years. Corner kick now for LAFC, leading 2-1 at home over Houston Dynamo. Dynamo on the road for 10 straight road games. They'll come home July 5th for their first home game since April 12th. They were unbeaten until the last two. Now in position to lose a third straight game. Corner kick now to the back post, headed into the hands of Logan Erb. Sprayed into the left channel there. Morelli joins the box. Crossover here. Samir Mohammed trying to earn a corner kick. Defended well. It's a Houston throw in deep. Another corner kick coming. It's won by Doman. They will try and take this quickly. To the near post. Well defended by LAFC. Here comes one more change for Jeremy Hurdle in Houston. Artur Souza, the Brazilian, has run his race. Replaced by Mamadi Gianna. Gianna's 23. Had a great senior year at Bryant University. 7 goals last year. Was drafted by Inter Miami after his college career. Here comes LAFC back the other way. Excellent angle that time by Isaac Mwakutuya. Mamadi Gianna has appeared 3 times for Houston Dynamo 2, still looking for his first goal. LAFC have outshot Houston 14-8. 6-4 advantage in shots on target. Dynamo have a 9-1 edge in corner kicks tonight. Good step from Isaac Wakatuya. He joins the attack. What will he do here? Slips it through. One of the first touches off the bench. As it fell there to Gianna, he couldn't quite settle it. This game is wide open and very stretched for both teams. Headed, first time strike is off the mark. He had more time than he realized. Tried to take it first time out of the air. And that was Dempsey Resic, 18-year-old. Will play for Indiana in a few weeks at the college level. Then Scally off his line to take it off the chest and ignite a potential LAFC attack. Off to this left side. A throw in coming. Kept in play. Dynamo throw in. Down 2-1, 82nd minutes. Noah Betancourt, the Academy product, will be moved back before the throw in. Good step from Goodman, the goal scorer. His goal will be the difference. Potential game-winning goal. Just past the hour mark. Herb plays out of the back. Here come LAFC, nice tackle. Isaac Mwakatuya did really well. That's why he's described as the anchor of the back line by head coach Jeremy Hurdle. There is time here for Houston to find the tying goal. Top of the box, a turn. Shot was blocked. That's nice. Down this left sideline. Beautiful build up from Houston. Early ball. DiMorelli arriving. Pulls it back, and it's hit over the bar. From left to right, then back to the middle. Beautiful triangle passing from Houston. But the final shot just lacking a bit. DiMorelli, good vision here. Maybe some tired legs from Betancourt. The right back joining the attack. Here comes the press. Ten versus 10. LAFC a 2-1 lead. 85th minutes. From Southern California. Self-pass down the left sideline. He's on his feet. Possibilities for Houston. Low cross to the near post. Well defended. And Giuliano Whitchurch was in the good spot at the near post to clear the danger. A lot of touches for Isaac Mwakatuya, the captain tonight for Houston. DiMorelli does well. He earns a free kick right on the edge of the box. Look at this run from DiMorelli, the Dynamo homegrown player. He runs right into Liam Lambert, the goal scorer, who took a shot to the face afterward. His teammate cleared it right off his face. Here comes the free pick from DiMorelli. Matteo DiMorelli over the bar. Good power, but not on target. Now Miles Ozar is the latest change for LAFC. He comes on here in the 87th minute, and he replaces Travis Babineau, who himself was a sub in the second half. Well, Babineau comes off, Ozar comes on. Miles Ozar is part of the LAFC U19 Academy, part of the 2009 player group. Direct ball here. All the way back to Logan Erb. LAFC would climb to 6th if this result holds. Houston would be 6 points back of Austin. Recovered in the center circle. Austin won again tonight, 2-0 on the road in St. Louis. All alone, back post around the goalkeeper, penalty given. What a beautiful build-up from LAFC. A yellow card will be shown to Logan Erb for that challenge. But this was from the left. Lambert clips it to the right. Slightly long first touch, but he was able to recover. Dempsey Resic was taken down in the box by Erb for an LAFC penalty. And now it most likely will be DeCarlo Guerra. Guerra scored the penalty to win it on Wednesday against Minnesota United. It came in the 66th minute. Now he has a chance in the 89th minute to seal the deal for LAFC after some good work between Lambert and Resic. DeCarlo Guerra, his 4th season in MLS Next Pro. Can he convert a penalty for the 2nd straight game in a matter of 5 days? Cool from the spot on Wednesday against Minnesota. It's DeCarlo Guerra against Logan Erb. And Guerra is cool from the spot. Sends Erb the wrong way. 2 in the second half for LAFC. DeCarlo Guerra very pleased. His 2nd goal this season, both from the spot. Well taken, disguised it well, even looking to his right as he shot it to his left. Two games, 2 penalties, and potentially 2 victories for LAFC in a 5-day span. To lose a man to red card in the first half and to win 3-1 in the same game would be a decisive win and a real momentum-building win for LAFC if they can hang on. They did benefit from the 2nd yellow card to Miles Gardner and playing 10 versus 10 for most of the second half, but that still is a impressive achievement not to wither and capitulate down 10 versus 11. In the second half stoppage time. Minimum of 3 minutes will be added on. Push in the back, free kick for Houston. Who will hit this restart? We just saw Di Morelli with the chance. He was over the bar. Will he get a second go at it? Will the honors fall to Samir Mohammed? Third option there as well for Houston. Into the wall. From D'Alessandro Herrera, the Houston Christian Husky. Played college soccer down the road from the Houston Dynamo training ground. Now the Dynamo cannot overlook what they did to get to this point on their club record 10-game road trip, 10 straight on the road while they have renovations at their home stadium. A draw in Austin, wins at Real Monarchs, Sporting Kansas City, Colorado, and St. Louis in succession on the road. A free kick coming now for Houston. 4 straight wins, then a draw at Minnesota, a win at Portland 3-0, and now in position for a 3rd straight loss. Defeats at Ventura County, at Tacoma, and potentially tonight against LAFC. But multiple regulars unavailable tonight due to the first team preseason, as they're calling it, across MLS. MLS returning to play in a few weeks. The preseason drawing a lot of regular MLS Next Pro players back to the first team preseasons. Samir Mohammed clips in the restart. Punched out by Scally. And a player down for LAFC inside his box. Training staff on to assess him. He's back off the floor now and able to stand on his own. Bit of concussion protocol here, it looks like. That's the goal scorer, Goodman. Luke Goodman, first goal of the season. It's the game winner, and he's back to his feet. Again, Houston missing several important players. Austin Brumet, 4 goals on the season. And Cruz, the goalkeeper, has been outstanding. Matthew Arana, 2 goals, 2 assists. He scored for Houston Dynamo's first team in a friendly with Philadelphia last night. A 2-2 draw with Philadelphia Union. That bounces into the hands of Scally. Bell, Vinicius also unavailable. Vinicius, 3 goals, 2 assists. Full time, an emotional celebration. You see the LAFC players celebrating with friends and family. They went down to 10 men after the first half, sending off after 35 minutes to Christian Diaz, but they have a good team spirit and they fight back for a 3-1 win. Time for our Adidas Man of the Match. It's presented by Adidas. First MLS Next Pro goal for Luke Goodman, former UC Davis Aggie. Look at this challenge from the center back. He steps forward. He goes for a goal. It came in the 68th minute. It was the game-winning goal. LAFC would add a third. Luke Goodman, our man of the match. That will do it from Los Angeles. LAFC hands Houston Dynamo its 3rd straight defeat. Houston Dynamo will come home on July 5th for its first home game in a long time. That will do it. Appreciate you tuning in for tonight's broadcast. For our entire MLS Next Pro broadcast crew, including our producer Manny Mendoza, I'm Matt Peterson saying so long from USC. Once again, final score, LAFC 3, Houston Dynamo 1. Don't forget, you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at MLSNextPro.com and OneFootball. Good night from LA.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.